Welcome to November 8, 2025, where the SNAP program is currently on hold, even though Judge John McConnell out of Rhode Island, a federal judge, he ordered the Trump administration to fully fund SNAP. So why isn't this program running through? Why aren't people getting their funds? And you're looking out there politically, everybody's yelling and screaming, but nobody's really explaining why. The left is yelling and screaming because kids are going hungry, and well, yeah, they are. The right is yelling and screaming that the courts are interfering in the budget process, and they're also yelling, well, hey, the left really should shut up because the justice who put a 48-hour hold on the whole thing is Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, who she's a liberal. She's a Democrat appointee. She's stopping it. Oh, wait. Here's exactly what's happening. The regular budget appropriation for SNAP benefits ran out on November 1st, but there's still some money left for November. The SNAP program also has a built-in emergency fund that could fund the program through the rest of November, and that's what the legislation intended. So Trump had previously used this fund in the last government shutdown, so really there shouldn't be any legal impediment to releasing the funds. It's all political. So Judge McConnell ruled that the Trump administration has to distribute those emergency funds to the SNAP program because that's what the legislation says is supposed to happen. Well, Trump doesn't want to release the funds, and so they're appealing. So that's up at the First Circuit Court of Appeals. They initially declined, we're not going to stay this order. But then going up to the U.S. Supreme Court, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson had said, all right, there's going to be a 48-hour stay. And this is where everybody gets all confused on exactly what that means. This means that the First Circuit Court of Appeals needs to decide, hey, are we going to tell this judge's order, or it's going to hold off and not release the SNAP funds until we hear arguments? Or they're going to say, no, we're not going to do that. Go ahead, release the funds. That's when 48 hours kicks in. If the First Circuit says, okay, we're going to hold this off and next week we're going to hear arguments, and then they go through the arguments and they make their decision and say, yeah, you got to release the funds, there's also a 48-hour stay. The whole thing is to allow the government to end up getting their case in front of the U.S. Supreme Court with 48 hours of time. And so this is an emergency. Like I said, people are going hungry. But we want to make sure that the legal process is actually being followed, but being done in a judicious way. But what the mainstream media has been completely hilariously incompetent about doing is explaining what that 48-hour stay means. So I hope by putting this together for you, you get a little bit clearer picture. So meanwhile, the government shutdown continues. 40 million SNAP recipients go without. But I hope that clears up exactly what's going on. And I hope you take a little bit of time now and call, fax, email your representatives, and tell them exactly what you think of what's going on.